Hello, good evening, welcome to my Sunday's world building. I'll be carrying on with my world building here of a disused mining town. Hello, good evening, welcome to I'm sorry if I got any feedback there. I was recording myself live there. I realise I have a few issues with the screen. I can't see my chat, so if anybody's in chat, welcome. I'm going to be, as I said, going through my world building. So I'm going to just quickly see if I can play with my settings here and see if I can get up bits that I need on screen, but no. So I'm going to just have to do this semi-blind, and if I miss you on chat, I apologise. I will be able to visually see Twitch, so if you get in there, I will be able to answer any questions you got, or if you've got any ideas of what to put in my world building, feel free to join in and put your opinions. So I have done a little bit since last week just to stop some of the boring stuff. I have enlarged the old mine there, so that one I have got in ruins. I'm going to say that would have been destroyed either by a monster or partially by workers. That is to be decided yet. For story purposes, we can work on that. But I do plan on having this map as a brief monster setting. If anybody goes in there, it could be some kind of flying creature or something higher up above there. I do plan on also putting maybe some more rubble and such like in that, so that's something I do plan on working on. I haven't actually decided how long ago this event happened. I'm going to say it probably happened in the last year, so enough time for everybody to go out. So, or when I say event, abandon it. So my story is the mine got abandoned because of monsters taking over. So they lived in there, they did what they did. When people also came in and used it, so mostly would have been dwarves who lived here and mined it. They would have attacked them. They would have killed some of the miners. And despite there being some protection by the employers, that got too expensive. Too many people kept dying, and of course they abandoned it because it wasn't worth it. A, for lives, and B, for money for those people that took over. So what the plan is for when I finish this for my players, when I decide to use this, it will be a combination of a dungeon crawl for when we get into the mine, and also partially a opportunity for them to actually have their own mine or own village, because in the past the miners would have lived on site, and I do plan to the east of the map putting some old buildings there, an old Northern church, and maybe even another church that the owner of the mine and the village maybe wanted to convert them to. So this is all adding story to my map and to my world. It is. Some people like to do the story first and then build the map on it. Some people like to do the map first and build a story around it. I suppose I'm a bit of both, but I prefer to visualise something and then put in my story in amongst that. So that's semi what I'm doing. I'm liking to use real world things to set up this village, this town or ruin. But briefly going back to what my players can find, this place is still going to have something semi-active in it, and B, that semi-active nature of it will have something that they could possibly find treasure or something like that. So I was thinking it could be something left over by the owners there in a hidden place. 2, I wanted to have this place formally, or not formally, but having some sort of pirate, a smuggling concept in there, because I got my inspiration from Cornwall and in the United Kingdom, which has a bit of rich heritage of smuggling and mining. And with this mine being on the cliff or edge, like you would see in some Cornish areas, especially the further west down the county you go, I wanted to have this mine going under the sea, and then having a island on the other side where somebody would have smuggled, or probably still is smuggling stuff through. So you wouldn't necessarily see this stock come in where the authorities would want to either stop you bringing it in or tax you on it or such like. So this would, it's something we could work on now, but this is what this world building is about, is coming up with the ideas. But I'm not going to be too strict on that, too cementing that in at the moment, because I've still got a lot to do, and I haven't actually got a specific game in mind quite yet for this. And when that happens, that's probably when not probably, it will be when I cement it in. So there, so let's get some work going on. I'm just gonna quickly put a message in YouTube just to say hi, so bear with me. Well, so yeah, I hope everybody's been having a good day, and not too stressful. So it's been not quite too stressful. Oh, it's not been too stressful at me for work. The Christmas season is upon us, which makes my life quite interesting. So work in a department store which sells food and stuff, so Christmas presents and then Christmas shopping for food as well, all going to be interesting. So that's given me an idea. Festivities in this place, formal or otherwise. Well, that's something for another day. So maybe another stream. So I wanted to have this set up. So I had done the main mine there. So that's the main shaft there. Would have been going to be for bringing in and out of goods goods from the mine, ore from the mine. So I'm gonna put another door in there just for this end because I think I have a rail track coming up. I will put in an entrance in a minute for the miners to go, would have gone in. So, just realised I haven't closed a lot of these tabs, so it is loading up lots of images, 200 and counting downwards, so all joy. And I realised I didn't even go into the right thing because I want doors, which is that one, little tab there. So let's keep to fantasy. Doors. Ooh. What kind of door? So I don't think it will be ironclad. I put an archway on the other one, but I put it a jar. I think that one was a jar. I will turn it around in a minute because I don't want the doors opening inwards. I want them opening outwards and off. Which part do I want to open? There we are, that was it. Yeah. I forgot how, which one was I on to swap? You know, I have completely forgot which one I can do the mirroring of the door. And that's very well. I saw it for something else a second ago, but that was just that. So that's annoying. I know it, I've done it because I did it for the other doors, and this is really, really annoying. Somebody is probably screaming at me at this moment, going, "This is how you do it. There, just do that." But yeah, it's annoyingly. I'm sure I have to click on that to swap it around. Problem for another time. This would be normally for me to do it. So I would, if I wasn't streaming, I would probably spend time doing that. But that's for now. So I want to do a entrance for the thing. So I'm going to be having the ore come out there. It will go into the building here, which I've realised that wall there is not, it's at an angle. I don't know if I like that. I'll adjust it to later, but it will be coming into that building down there. So probably have the entrance for the miners over here. This bit here is going to be on a raise. That will be going into down there. So I'm going to put Getty. Very bad English, but I'm from Cornwall, so that's why my English is so bad, or I'm just not very good at it. Hey, we can take the mick out of ourselves. Yeah, there we are, there's the cliff terrain. So and I was watching a nice program earlier today. Actually, it was on about all the, not necessarily cliffs, but all the stone stuff in up around Northumberland, Newcastle, Wales, like around Hadrian's Wall away. Yeah, the exciting things I watch. It's an area I spent about a year doing output door for suits back in the day, and it was an absolutely lovely area of Britain. Go back there in an instant, and to be honest, I did a few years back, pre-COVID. So I had a friend who lives near Manchester, and so I stayed up with them and decided I wanted to go back and see some of the Roman sites, and we did some of the war as well. So if you've ever seen Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, there's a little bit there with a tree there, and some dogs, and it's like chasing a child he was hunting when Robin Hood was coming back home. He was there, and that is part of Hadrian's Wall, and it's like very near one of the big craggy cliffs. So that was a part they were talking about on the show, and yeah, where I spent a little bit of my life. I don't like that bit of cliff there. I can't just find the right bit to fit in. So yeah, this is not going to really be a full-size cliff. This is probably just 10 meters up, maybe a bit more. So that's in the wrong place. Ooh. Yeah, no. Ooh. Oops, wrong way. Yeah, I believe there was a lot of mining up Newcastle way as well. But don't know too much about that part of the country, other than a little bit of Hadrian's Wall I was at. So if anybody does know much about that, please help me. If one of my Star Trek Adventures players he's from Newcastle, he might be able to help me a little bit about history of that area. So, actually, what if I scale that down? I wonder how. Oh, no, this looks too small. That part. You know, I wouldn't be good doing maps in a hurry. But it's one good thing about Dungeonfog is they have player maps in there. Other people's maps in there. You can make these public, and you can have a search through. But then again, I wouldn't be doing a map of this size if I was in a hurry. So if I was going to do a small map, it would be just like a battle maps, like very small, or I would just do it one of the buildings. So, but this is an advantage, is I can some of these things I do like. I do like to create maps normally, and B, it's if I have it in do some in advance of things that I would be interested, or sites that I would like to bring my players to, then it's an advantage to have done it before. I'm going to create a nice set of maps now. So actually, that's what. Wonder how many of them I've made public. Oh, tell you what, let's have a quick look. Tangent time. So she's got a bell. Ding ding, tangent time. So that's one thing. So if you look up my thing at Ben Kernow, so BenKernow, if you're on Dungeonfog, go in the search ring, you will be able to find all my maps that I've done, and put, well, not all the ones I've done, all the ones I've made public. So some of these I've cloned off other people, which is the idea of what I was saying. So things I think I might find useful in a game future. Captain Quinn, ignore that map there if you are ever watching. Yeah, some of these are shared maps. So where are we? My maps. So I think this is a wonderful site for map creation. So I did say I was going to do some map creating, but this is world building Sunday as well. So I think it is good for generally showing you what this is about. The Rescue at Xerxes 4. That's a Star Trek Adventures game I been playing. So these 4 maps from the area, they're not really all needed. So I've got one there, which is the idea you crash in an iron storm here onto a site and you get attacked. You've got cover in the woods and some open ground. You'll then have to repair your runabout that's landed there. So the idea in this adventure is you gotta go and get some parts from a nearby science station, and it's also you have to evacuate it as well, or you don't have to, but evacuating it for various reasons. I won't spoil you too much on the reasons why, because if you've ever played the story, it's there. But these are my interpretations of some of the areas and things on there. So that's like a crossroads slash thing to create to specimen. So it's not my best map, but I want to. It was one of my favourite ones to create, and I do like this one. So I'll just open it up. So yeah, the idea was like to find plants and stuff like that. So I had a bit of an area there. So I should go back. I'm going to show one more thing. So I'm going to show the one that I did for a D&D campaign. I did. Oh, it wasn't a campaign. It was a short adventure. There we are. Abervinzard and Burial Pyramid. It's one of those names I came up with. Abervinzard as had various meanings. The players probably wouldn't find out what they were, but it's something there. So I ended up creating a big pyramid beforehand. That was my idea for adventure. I created this pyramid, burial pyramid, with lots of stuff in it, and I ended up creating a story around that. So there's 4 there. So it is a burial chamber, but it was also had ceremonies happening in it, and it was also be used for people of a certain order. They had to get to the top of the pyramid to be able to pass into this order. But it was also, I had bad things happening from that group coming from that pyramid. So I had skeletons coming alive in this game. So they had to go into here to find out what was going on. the village I had. Unfortunately, I can't open my village map because I've somehow managed to corrupt it. I think I didn't save it properly. So I got military barracks, stables. This was for further activities if they wanted to. Had a sewer system if they wanted to get in somewhere. So originally that wasn't there. I ad hoc done that because they were leaving the pyramid, and it was a case they wanted to get to find out what was going on and get into a building. So they would have had various other options to get into the building, but I thought let's give them one, and we had they didn't use it, but it would have been a battle sewer to get from A to B, and potentially find out what they wanted. So I probably shouldn't open this one because I forgot how many things I've got open, and this page, so many things in here. So which level? Oh, this is the first floor. So for you Americans out there, that's the second floor. So the idea to get up here would have been through this central. Oh no, that central bit is to get to the next floor up, and there's a hidden door there. You would have had this one to get up here, Route 6. The idea is that on this level you have 4 people who were close to the king. Each has their own chamber. To be honest, most of the chambers weren't really important. I may have had I'm trying to remember if I put an object in there. I can't remember if I had a riddle for that door or if it was just a normal door. I did have the idea that you would have had to get something from each person's tomb and slot it into a slot. I'm trying to remember now. There we are. What? There we are. So one good thing about here is you can make notes in here. So this is going from me making a map to me showing you other maps in World Anvil. So this is not sponsored, by the way. I just like it, and hopefully from me showing you this, I can show you the benefits of that. So if any of you have used World Anvil or haven't yet and you're interested, please say in the comments, if on YouTube or in chat now, and say what you think of World Anvil if you've used it. Say if you're creating maps, what you were thinking it. But anyway, I was saying there's a note. So down the bottom there, there's a section for notes, and I have here. So it has 4 alcoves, 1 on each wall. A secret door is there. So this is not visible to the players. This would be for my reference. So when they get to a room, secret door is there. To open it, depending on your mood. So bear in mind I've made this public, so this is for anybody else reading it, but if I'm reading it's for me. Mood, use the 4 keys on the floor below or 4 items from the burial rooms. So when I say 4 below, there are down that bottom of that stairs, and I am pointing at the map, expecting you to see me pointing at the map. But number 6 there. Down there I add keys. So this is something that you can bring in. You can vary it depending on your mood or your players. If you think they're coming up with the idea of the keys, oh that's great, use that. If you want it to be like a force thing, fine, but I would say make use for the keys somewhere else in the thing. Like have a box to open, which I have on the top floor. So 4 keys, yeah, or 4 items from the burial room. So for example, I had the God of War, God of Food, God of Knowledge, and the God of the Anvil. So as you can see by my various items in the room. You had various different types of people here, so like a soldier, cook, anviller, smith, smithy, and somebody who was knowledgeable. So I would have probably put models in here or know where they were in here, and I would say, oh, that's where you'd find it. So, and I'd make it a bit of a challenge to get into the doors. So actually, I could have used the keys downstairs to get into these 4 doors. It's a challenge. So I have. So what did I write on the statue of the goddess of knowledge and wisdom? I've called it. I should have done this, given them names that I could pronounce. Takagi. Could also be the goddess of research, Satuna. So obviously I had far too many much time on my hand. Now I think I was going to reference this, so you could have that description I put in here. I think the idea was I would have that over the door. So hit something reference in here. Reference that quote I put here. Here lies Fladrin Wasafa, bringer of knowledge, magic, and sower of mysteries for the king himself. So, oh yeah, I think I've put various statues in here. That's the idea I've put there. Isn't this one? It gives you various statues. So the idea is that they have to put the right statue in there. Whether you will be punished for having the wrong one, that depends on what how you're doing it. Oh, I'll put in here swarm of bats. Yeah, so give it a bit of a challenge when they're coming up. Depending on what level it is, you can. Well, to be honest, you could up the level of the bats if you really wanted to have a little bit of challenge, or you could just be they could just be a nuisance on your way through if your players are high level. This is not what this is about, to get in the right fights for your players. This is about yeah, whatever it is. This is about the maps. Silver Toothslayer, protector of the king and defender of the free. Let her defend him forever. So him is the king. So I was going to get let's get up to the 2nd floor, or if you're from America, 3rd floor. So this bit is actually the burial chamber. The actual challenge, I should have started at the beginning. That would have been easier. But so up here, so I've got these for the tombs of kings there. I've got a key on the top of the king. That'll be relevant for a story. So this could be potentially a gold mine for your players if they were the fighting sort or the stealing sort or whatever, or it could be said part of the challenge, or it could be just a thing, or it could be a curse if they steal stuff from here. So, or they could find somebody else's stolen from here as part of your story. I was going to have this armoured statue come alive if they players stole the money there. But my main thing was for them to hopefully respect the powers that be. Here I've got a diary of the king there for any thing that would be helpful. So I was to take the key. The key, I was going to make a magic key, and that was to get in to a secret door on the ground floor. So okay, I've clicked on the wrong thing. I've created a new level. Oops, a daisy. Don't know why I've got it all misty. So, the idea of this one here was, yeah, we'll have ceremonies going on in, thing. I've just lost my image on screen. My computer's playing up, I think. I apologise if there's any issues at your end, or if there isn't, I apologise for me just going all mad. So, I've got all these as individual burial areas. I wanted to make it realistic that there was burial things there. It could be a test for your players, or you could have doors open automatically just to go, look, you don't need to search properly in here. But that's up to you. You can have it that they go around to every door and have to check through, or you can have fighting skeletons in each one for punishment for opening it, or curse for going in certain rooms. So, I think this one, if I remember, was my secret door, but it doesn't look like I've... Oh yeah, so that one is visible, but it says needs key. So you can do things like that. I'm sure I made that secret. That's a hidden door. Okay, I'm going to have to rethink anyway. So, that's not here or there. You can make these ones secret, so when your players come through, they don't see it, but you see it, and if they do what they need to do, it becomes visible. So, I've got this written above the door, is you need the king's permission to start, with a sun symbol at the start. So, the sun symbol I've made as a symbol for the king and things like that, so there'd be hints that you're going the right way or such like. But what I was on about, that key was the one that was on the king's tomb. So you'd have to work out when you came here that this was the king's burial chamber, which I haven't shown you on the map, but outside the front of this tomb was the two statues. Was the king's statue of a lion, and then there was the queen's statue, which was one of the ones from Egypt style one, which was a fill in gap with the lion body with the it'll come to me, just fill in an Egyptian thing there that's not a pyramid. I apologise for my lack of knowledge, and I should check up. So hopefully that would be a hint to say you have to find the king. If they suddenly go out and thinking they're going to go and find the living king to get this, you can find ways of either getting them back or going, okay, the king is 100 miles away in the port, which in my game he was. He would have been sitting on his throne in the capital city, so, or doing whatever he does. To be honest, I can't remember if there was a living king or a living queen. Can't remember. But the idea is you go and find there, and then you come back and put the key in here, and so symbol of the order of the forbidden. Oh, the sun one was the image for the group that was causing mischief around the town. That was it. So around the edge of the sarcophagus, turn to what is not allowed. You must turn to try You must turn to try and see what's inside. So, try, I writ it like for TRI as in for free. So the idea is you turn the 3 swords around all the same way and it unlocks the door here. I may have to work on that one, that description, but the idea is there. When successfully moved to the correct angles at the same time, the doors open. So, depending on how many players you have, you can have them do it at the same time, or you could just make sure it all goes at the same angle. So the idea is you go down 18 and then you go down to the basement. The reason I've got the basement at the end, not at the beginning, is because I didn't want it to, first thing when I opened, I didn't want to open on the basement, because I didn't want the to have to have the fluff of going around. Oh, what? How the hell am I creating all these new things? So I ended up creating this as a little bit of a trap area. While I'm on this topic, it's like a dungeon crawl sort of thing, so like a problem solving route. So sorry about the load time here, as I said, it's because I've got so much things on it, and also I haven't got the best computer in the world. You would come down the stairs on number 1, and trust me, there are stairs there, it will load up in a minute. The idea to continue is you come into room here, which is number 2. If their players were good, they would find the secret doors here, and number 7, to get into number 7, and that would give them a quick, easy, or easier route through, which you'll find the entrance route in a second, but that's going around the other one. So I just thought I'd give them two options. It's like easy one if they find the secret door, or harder route if they don't, or a more challenging route. So I've realised I put a secret door up here as well. Wonder what my plan. I think my plan with that one was that would be a route that whoever's working down here would use. But my option was that's like it would give them the option of bypassing as well if they're good enough to find out. So I put the secret door on the left as DC 25 check. I was going to say, you may, I've also had in here, you may, I was going to put some kobolds in here because their ability to making stuff, making traps. You may hear noise and distance here, PCs, if you don't hear the PCs first, the noise is kobolds talking, so they may hear you. So, I've got to realise I've got that round the wrong way. And I'll say, yeah, DC 25 for the end one. I made those difficult for a reason. It's not... The people who would come here regularly would know that's there. But this one here is a door of the pacifist. So the idea here, you walk into the room. I'm trying to remember who I saw this on, and I wish I could remember. It's something GM. I wish I could. I want to be able to give credit for their thing, but unfortunately I can't remember. If I do, I'll put it in the chat. So you walk into the room. The adventurer sees the remains of a large wooden table surrounded by pieces of damaged wooden chairs, which show signs of heavy decay and are no use. I don't know why I ended up putting there, but it was just I'll put it there. The door is in the The door in the north is made of iron and magically sealed next to the stronger. To that is a strong reinforced crate. So when I say magically sealed, it's going to be a really high magic thing. You can make it good enough for somebody to open if you really want to, but my idea here is it's that highly magically sealed that you would have to do this properly to do it. If this is not something for your players, they don't like doing these kind of problem solvings, then that's your that's something you can deal with for your players, knowing your players. Anyway, so the door, half dozen wooden buckets and broken paint brushes are scattered around the room. That's hopefully to give you a bit of a clue about one of the walls in a second. The floor has a thick covering of dust, especially heavy on the walls, apart from the crate, which is relatively untouched. If detect magic, the entire north wall and the crate give off a glow or aura. Perception check will draw attention to the wooden crate, since it doesn't have the same amount of dust. The age is different there. Sorry, it doesn't have the same amount of dust. The age is different from those with a higher roll. Notice the markings on the door. I have to re-go from my English, but to be honest, I know what it means. But this means anything on the north wall. If there's less dust on the trunk, and there's patterns on the wall, paintings on the walls. So if the characters rob of the so there's markings and paintings on the wall. If the characters rob of the dust, they will uncover a mural on the entire length of the north wall. Once the characters are done, they will be able to see the whole of the mural on the left side, and we'll see a depiction of warriors and adventurers. On the right side, they will see a stockpile of weapons, swords, bows, daggers, arrows, maces, etc. You could make this relevant to your party and have very similar things to what they've got, because this is supposed to be a big hint, and you can make the hint a bit bigger by making it similar to your players. The door has a picture of adventurers as if they are walking away. If they notice they don't have any visible if they notice they don't have any if they notice the paintings, I was probably writing this in a hurry, they don't have any visible weapons. The idea of the venture is the adventurers need to put all their weapons in the crate and shut it. I know players are going to be reluctant to get rid of weapons. You have to give over a bit of trust between you and your players. Don't be too much of a idiot afterwards. And we'll find out where they go in a minute. If they do put all their weapons in the crate and shut it, if they put everything in there, and I mean everything, your players have to be honest with you, and bear in mind, if they say they've got rid of anything and you find out, and the next one, it's like next room, they draw a weapon afterwards, you go, sorry, but you said you've put everything on it, this wouldn't have worked without it. Please be kind, please play fair, so like in a conversation that's you can have as adults. Crate. So if they do, the crate rumbles and a little. Oh, rumbles a little and the door opens. If the characters open the crate, the weapons are gone. If they haven't put in all their weapons and still there, sorry, if they haven't put all their weapons in the crate, their weapons are still there, and they can still get them. Now you can choose where you put the weapons collection, but I had it in one of these crates at the top. So if they've got there, they can get there. They don't have to do too much more to get it. They're not going to have to do much fighting. If they're going to do fighting, make it something easy enough that they can do without their weapons. Or you don't have to. Actually, you can make the challenge, but just don't be a idiot about it. Make it challenging for your players, but not. But what I had in my one was this room here, which is you've got two doors to choose from. So these are the statues I had earlier, and I'll better give you the answer to what I was trying to think out of the Egyptian things, the Sphinx statue. I did try to make it that one side was more the Queen's side of the pyramid, and the other one was more, the right hand side was more the King's side of the pyramid. So anyway, this room, I've ended up doing this one, and it was this and the reason I'm doing this because I said, and this would be a saying that was up on the wall. Those worthy of being in the King's presence will know the right or correct way. Bear in mind, for the players, I would make that one or the other. So, as I said, the statues which were the same as those two, so a lion and a sphinx, had on the thing, had the names of the King and Queen on each one. So the lion would have had the King's name, the Sphinx had the Queen's name. If you wanted, I wasn't going to have the King's and Queen's name on that. I was going to have that as a observation that they would have made earlier. So I would have had it as their loss. So the reason I was going to say the right way as well was maybe going to be a hint. Depends how difficult you want to make it for your player, or how much of a hint you think your players need. I put the correct way. It's up to you. If you do this multiplayer times, you can do this for your players. I also put, if you want players wanted a bit of observation, through the left they may be able to smell sterile sulphur, fire, smoke, burn stain, and there'll be burn stains on the floor around footprints, and you could even probably leave some shoes there. But I would have it that the coboats in the room earlier cleaned up a little bit. So you will probably get the idea what will happen if the players go through the wrong door. Is they got that statue there blowing flames at them. So I done it that you had a bit of a launch power there and options such as the rules other things. I did make this a bit of a temple / tomb area, and the corridor, as you can see, goes around. So this, if your players had picked the route from down here, they could come up to through the corridor number 7. They could actually come back through that entrance. So for the people who would want to access this tomb without it getting annihilated, that's the one for you. If they pick the right room, see what I did there, they can get into this room here, a bit more open space. I've left a few things for them to pick. I always like to have something for my characters, for my players to find. So there was a little bit of money. There was a scroll. You can put something on there that is useful. I put a spilled drink there. Something was knocked over, so and I had the open door there. I wanted that as a hint that somebody had been through here. I did actually have footprints on here. I don't know why my page hasn't fully loaded up. But I had two crates. So this crate here is identical to the one in to the one 3 rooms ago. I was thinking, a 3 what room? But yeah, that's identical to what. That's a hint that your weapons may be in there. Hopefully they're good enough to search them out. The main reason I wanted that is for them to have their weapons back for potentially would be the next part. And I did put another crate there which I could potentially use for things in there. Again, I had some spare rooms there. I had one where I don't know why, but I thought the builders who made here ended up dumping a load of stuff in there. I could have other bits in there, drop something. I think I'd probably run out of ideas for rooms at that stage, but if you ever upload this one for yourself, feel free to do something with that room and make it a little bit better. But this one I thought, if they come around, if this tomb is actually used by people to come in, it's like maybe redecorate, or you had the spare parts for the kings that you didn't want it all in display, that you could have bits there. I had a captain's desk, which looks like a writing map, picture frames. Bear in mind, it looks like I've got a lot for the players to steal if they wanted to, but bear in mind there's a lot to carry, and even if you don't use the carrying rules properly in your game of choice, really do you think your players would be able to carry not a huge amount of stuff? And bear in mind they will be walking back out very close to a village, and if people see them grave robbing, tomb robbing, it will be bad. So you can make things for that. If you want to let them completely strip the mine, I think that's your prerogative, but you have reasons for them not to. But as I said, you could make all these little scrolls, something useful for them, a treasure maps of other places, information that they need or want for part of the game, spells. Take your pick. Let your imagination go wild and have things for them to find. Flask. Oh, could have magical spells in there. Magical stuff in there. Pile of books, again, useful thing. So, bottles of whatever you want it to be. So, let's go up to the final level. So, if you notice, I had a what's like a portal thing like that there. So that's what I was going to use as a way of accessing that. I was probably going to make something on the table, something to say this is what this is, a way of making it that they know this is a transportation device. But I had this up here that it was like I would have had some of the bad person in there doing experiments and such like. I put a walled bit there. It was just to say it was a little bit of a, they could sneak up if they wanted to. But the idea was somebody was hiding in this pyramid to doing experiments and bringing skeletons to life. I haven't done much of what I was originally doing, so I'm going to just say welcome to my world build and welcome to using Dungeonfog. I am finishing half an hour earlier than I would usually, and I hope you can join in at come in next week and join us at 8:30 GMT. That's 2000 hours, or 8:30 PM next week, and join us for world building, and hopefully I can finish off that map and have that entrance ready to the mine for you. So thank you, and goodbye.